Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Here at the Wooden Butterfly, we're all about the transformation. And today we're transforming this jewelry box with a Barbie theme. I don't know about you, but I am so excited about all the Barbie things going on right now. Come on back, let's have some fun with this one. So the first thing we're going to do is take the entire jewelry box apart. I used an eyeglass screwdriver to take all those tiny screws apart out of the jewelry box. Then we're going to remove all of the lining. It's like cardboard with a velvety type fabric over the top, and it was just beyond cleaning or restoring. So we're changing the entire thing. Then we're going to spray everything down with a white lightning cleaner. I'm using a scrubby sponge to scrub all the dirt and grime and whatnot off of the jewelry box. We're going to do it inside, outside, everywhere to get rid of any dust or cobwebs or anything else that might be lingering around. Next, we're going to use clear water and then a dry paper towel to wipe it all down. That removes all of the residue. Now we're ready to paint. We're using Dixie Belle Soft Pink and a Zibra brush. This is a fan brush, which is I'm a very big fan of right now. And then a cup of water. Just going to dampen my bristles with water and then dip into the paint and apply that over the entire jewelry box. We're just going to give it a good base coat so that we can add all the extra pretties over the top. Now I did end up tinting this soft pink later on to give it a little more of a Barbie pink. It wasn't quite there yet, so we did tint it with some cobalt blue, which I'll show you here in just a little bit. Again, I'm just doing the entire thing. You're going to let this dry and then add a second coat after. Keeping that brush damp lets the paint go much further, as well as smooths out any brush strokes. Helps that paint level a little more easier as well. Now we're using some slick stick to apply to the plastic that's actually a plexiglass, it's not real glass, in the front of the jewelry box, because we're going to be decoupaging over the top of it and we want to give something good for it to bond to. Slick stick is a bonding primer. Binds to all non-porous surfaces, so it's great for this project. And as I said, you're just going to let that first coat dry, then go ahead and add that second coat. This is just the base that we will be applying everything else to. We just want to give it a good solid base to start with. Then I am mixing up, taking some cobalt blue and adding it to the Peony, and that will give us the first Barbie pink. I had used some metallic rosé colored, but I didn't like it, so that you'll notice later in the video that it's actually a different color. But I took my ruler and I drew out some lines across each one of the drawers, and then a artist brush to paint in those stripes on the front of the box. Then I took another brush with just water on it to clean up those lines anywhere that it may have bled over, just to straighten everything out a little bit. Next, I took some Lucky Lavender and I'm putting that around the edges. And as you can see, that rosé and the lavender and the peony, they weren't mixing well. So that's why I changed it a little bit. So here we're taking that soft pink and I added a little bit of the peony mixture together to give a nice color. We're going to do some blending on the top. So we do the lighter in the middle and the darker on the edges, and then I'm going to take a spray bottle and a blending brush. This is the Dixie Belle's Oval Medium, to soften out those edges. You're going to keep working it until you get it to the point where you like it. I didn't think that it was quite bright enough in the middle, so we added a little more of the light pink, and then as you can see, it's darker on one side than the other, so I'm just adding a little bit of the darker, and again blending it in to soften those edges. Now we're going to do the Harlequin pattern on the side. So I've measured in the middle, up and down, and measured side to side. Then you're going to go ahead and draw in all of those diamonds. The clear ruler really helps with that. That's a quilting ruler, and as you can see, there's paint all over, so I use it a lot. And then we're just going to go ahead and paint those diamonds in using an artist brush. And then I just took a little bit of the extra lighter pink and cleaned up any edges just to make sure everything is nice and clean. Then we're adding Pure Ocean on the inside. These are all chalk mineral paint colors, and just giving that a second coat. I put it in there to see, do I like it or do I not, and where exactly I wanted it. I did change my mind a little bit as we went, but you'll see when it gets all done in the second video when I finish off the inside. Now we're just adding some of that soft pink on there because I didn't like the blue on the outside. I just wanted it to be a surprise when you opened it up. So we're adding that soft pink, peony, and cobalt blue mixture together. I just used just a tongue depressor to get that mixture stirred in because I wasn't mixing up a whole lot of paint. And then adding that Lucky Lavender to the edge at the top and cleaning up all of my edges. Now we're going to go ahead and decoupage that Barbie print onto the front. This is a vintage fashion Barbie print that I had just picked up off of Pinterest and printed out on my inkjet printer. And we're just going to add some Dixie Belle's Clear Coat Satin and use that as a decoupage medium. You want to apply a liberal amount. You don't want it to be super thick, but you don't want it to be too thin either. You want it to stay wet so that it absorbs into the paper nicely. I'm not going to be applying any over the top, and that is why you want that liberal amount on the paper. Now we're just smoothing that out, and afterwards we'll come back after it's dry and we'll clean up all the edges with some sandpaper. I didn't have a clip of that, but that is what you do. You use some 150 grit sandpaper and rub along the edge, and it cleans everything off really nicely. Now we're adding some gilding wax in gold to the hardware to give it a little bit of glamour, because Barbie is glamorous after all. Then we'll just screw those into each drawer, and she's all done. She's all ready to go. There she is. Isn't she lovely? Well, I hope you've had as much fun as I've had transforming this jewelry box with the Barbie theme. This is part one of a two-part series, and the second part will show you how the sealer's applied and how I finish off the inside. Be sure to check us out on social media on Facebook and on Instagram, or my website, thewoodenbutterfly.com. In the description, you'll see a whole list of all the products that I've used today.